Growing this home by Parish Life Connect.
How do you know that you are ready to be baptized? Many of us have had the same exact question as we were coming into the Orthodox Church. And even now, as converts, as we're helping guide other catechumens into the church, we really don't know how to answer that. So today I really want to touch on that topic. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Growing This Home. I'm Hannah, and today I'm really excited about this topic. We have a bunch of new catechumens who are about to enter into the church, which got me thinking, I really need to talk more about this. So today we're just going to cover a few topics about how long should you be attending an Orthodox church before you consider baptism? What is a catechumen? And what do you need to know about baptism?
Remember to like this video and to subscribe.
How long should you actually be in the Orthodox Church before you consider baptism? There is no hard and fast rule on this. And I think that even if you talk to your priest or your spiritual father as you're navigating this, they will probably tell you the same thing. I have heard Father Evans say that people have joined the church just within a few months, and some people it took 20 years before they felt like they were ready. So, again, there's no rule on this. The biggest thing to consider is really what is your heart feeling about this? For me, it was just like such a big on and off switch. I was completely off, not actually ready to join the church. I didn't know that I even wanted to be Orthodox. We had been attending frequently enough after having Hudson, and I still was very attached to our old church. So for me, it was visiting that old church again and then quickly realizing that I no longer belonged there and realizing the only path forward for me was joining the church, and that's where I was meant to be. And so it was just like a big light bulb moment of saying hey, I can't go back. The only thing is forward, and this is joining the Orthodox Church. And that's when I said, all right, let's get baptized. And if your journey doesn't look like that and it's not an on and off switch, I think that that's completely okay too. And just understanding and talking with your spiritual father, what are the concerns that you have of joining the church? What is holding you back? What do you feel like you need to know? Because honestly, we will never feel like we know enough about the church before we can be baptized. I've heard even Father Evans say that he still is learning things, which I think is so beautiful because that means that the church isn't stagnant, right? So that we can constantly be growing and learning these things. And there's never like this perfect time. And it's this beautiful relationship with Christ um, as we're joining the church. So, again, there's never like a set rule of how long, and sure, maybe your priest has some recommendations of how long if he thinks that you're maybe joining too quickly, or maybe you've been dragging out a little too long. He may make a recommendation to you, but again, that choice is up to you. Now, I want to talk about what exactly is a catechumen. For many of us, when we came into the church, there was no official ceremony. And I recently discovered that actually the first part of the baptism is the making of a catechumen. So for some of us, as we were doing our baptism, is actually when we went through the official making of a catechumen. But as many new converts are coming into the church, you can see that many churches are moving to this process of making of a catechumen before baptism. And it's really just this preparation period, just to have a period of training and learning before actually doing the baptism, which I think is just so beautiful. So if you haven't already talked to your priest about becoming a catechumen and you're really interested in that process, speak with your priest or your spiritual father and find out what that entails. Maybe you do the making of a catechumen ahead of time, or maybe you do it on your baptismal day, just like we did. So, how do you prepare for your baptism and entering into the church? There's really two things that I think that we should talk about today, and that is picking a patron saint and picking godparents or sponsors. So, let's talk about picking a patron saint really quick. This is someone who is a saint in the church and someone that you really look up to and you feel like can be like a good guide in your life. This doesn't have to mean that you only pick one person to look up to for the rest of your life. I think that that is a common misconception. Like once you pick one person, that's it. That's not true. But pick someone who you really connect with, and do a little bit of introspection, like deep dive into yourself. What attributes are you really connecting with? And what are the stories that you connect with? So for me, it was Saint Hannah, or also known as Mother of Samuel, Hannah the prophetess. Long before I was Orthodox, I had already had a connection with her. And I was struggling with infertility, so I connected really with, her heart and her desire to have the children, and her weeping and her trust and faith in God. So when the time came for us to have the discussion with Father Evan about patron saints, he just dropped the question like, "Oh, so who would you guys pick?" And I just blurted out Saint Hannah right away. And it was so quick. And I actually remember Nolan looking at me like, "Oh, really? Like, I didn't even know you had been thinking about this." But I had already like formed this connection with her long before I was even Orthodox. So, deep dive, have that introspection, look into the lives of the saints. There's so many wonderful, wonderful saints that you can really choose from. Okay, the second one, picking sponsors or godparents. I think that this is just like this wonderful opportunity. As infants coming into the church, you're given godparents, and they are there to help guide you and lead you in the faith. And they're just there to help raise you. It's this wonderful, beautiful relationship. And this should be looked at kind of in the same way. Like, you are now, as an adult, given this opportunity to develop this wonderful relationship. So, look for someone who's further along in their journey of the faith, and someone who's a little bit more mature, someone that can really help you and guide you and, lead you in through all these questions. And they'll also be there to help you with all the other aspects of baptism, along with your spiritual father and your priest, and really just be there to answer all the questions and help you also with all of the things that you need to actually prepare for baptism. So we covered a handful of topics today, and these might just be a few questions you had about what you need to know about baptism and how to prepare. As always, I recommend speaking with your priest, spiritual father, to answer more of these questions. If you have any ones that you would like me to talk about specifically, feel free to drop them in the comment box below. And as always, speak with people within your own parish that have also been on a similar journey. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video today. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you want more content updates, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the little bell button. That way you'll be notified. I have a ton of content that I plan on producing this year, so make sure you're following along. All right, see you for the next video. Bye.